We're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the third hour of Misfits. So, uh, in the aftermath of what has been a very touching and very humorous birthday party, what do you do as the party comes to like a slow stop? Do you want to go out and conduct some investigations of what transpired, or do you just like peace out and go and like take care of schoolwork? What's the plan here? What do you do?
Well, not homework, that's for sure.
And it really depends on how much we drank.
How late it is.
Or how late it is.
Yeah, you tell me. I leave this. I leave where this birthday party like ebbs out up to you. What state are you in when you leave?
Sober and in need of some fresh air. So Yoon goes home and changes into uniform. It's the first time she's worn it. I mean, she's been training, obviously, but she hasn't actually put on the costume, the uniform, since that night when they were when they were last out, when they fought that sludge creature. And she goes out, finds someplace where she can sit and just feel the wind on her face and think, basically. So yeah.
All right. What do you go out to think about?
She goes out because some of the things that were said at that party reminded her of what happened just before she went legit, so to say, that last mission that she was on.
All right, you have some bad memories that this pulls.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So when you just go out and sit to deal with that, like, what is your way of dealing with this? Like, do you just sit in quiet, like introspective, meditative contemplation, or is this like a getting rid of badness by like just taking like a free run through the city? What is your coping?
That depends very much on her mood at the time, but I think that today, I do think that the free run is the better option. She really wants to feel. She was reminded a little bit too much about, explosions and chemicals and how dangerous it can be and death and so on and so forth. So she wants to feel alive. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty hefty example of Assassin's Creed Go Home parkour through the higher parts of the city.
All right, very nice. So we have like just a series of like interconnected panels of you leaping between buildings and like catching cross wires and so on, and maybe like swinging on electrical wiring with hook swords. I don't know, like
something like that.
Using
it as a hook blade, basically, and sliding down the.
Just want to remind you that in a group with entry, she's going to be reminded of explosions a lot.
Yep.
That's fine. Like you have to deal with it at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, okay. So you do this, right? You take off for like a run, and we see you like cast against the backdrop of an like late evening halcyon. And I think when you come to a stop and you catch your breath and maybe like rub your legs down, just to get some of the soreness out. You are looking down on the riverside. You didn't even notice that you were going here. You're looking down basically at where this fight went down. There is a slowly melting iceberg drifting downriver.
Not it.
And
not my fault.
No, actually, that was the alien tech's fault, but you contributed, so you're not completely without fault. And as you're looking down here, you notice that there is they've gotten the barge back up again, like it's no longer half sinking in the water. It's been like moored along the side of the river. Mm-hmm. And there is a like a way too intense presence of government investigation here. Like it strikes you as odd because this seems like excessive. You see like security vehicles of like I think like it would be Aegis. So like you see Aegis security vehicles like armored personal carriers.
Yes.
And this is like you notice this milling presence of like flashlights and so on, like on the barge and around it.
Very strange, but she's not going to go down there to ask anyone, but I think she wants to sneak closer and stay hidden in the shadows and so on. But on the other hand, she also knows that Aegis, don't trifle with them. They have the technological goodies to make, to sniff out people who are in hiding. So she's going to want to keep a reasonably healthy distance, basically.
Did you ever cross Aegis when you were still doing your former career?
I think there's a very good chance that she did.
Yeah?
Yes, I think that she did.
Did that, like, what experiences did you come away with there? Was this like these are definitely like expert people, right, in a sense, but they're also sorry, go on.
I think actually that her first experience with Aegis was Captain Korea, who probably works for them.
Okay, he teamworks with those guys. Okay.
Yes, I imagine so.
There is no doubt, right? Like in the fiction, that Aegis is this anti-supervillain armed agency thing, and so they're like specialists. But they're also in the same position as, like, narratively, they're in the same position as S.H.I.E.L.D., where despite being well-equipped and sometimes, like, so effective it becomes a plot point unto itself, they are still inefficient enough that we need heroes.
Yes.
So when you first, like, crossed Aegis, did you come away with, like, an experience of being like, oh, shit, like, let me get out of the way? Or was this, like, you took down their security personnel, though it was harder than others, but you did like take them out and got in and did the thing? Or was this like the latter, one of the walls you hit your face on?
I think she managed, but I think she walked away from it with a healthy dose of respect that these guys are not to be trifled with, and I probably only got in because it was a mixture of pure dumb luck and the fact that whoever she came up against made the critical error of underestimating a 5'2" twig of a girl.
Right.
And I can't, they are not going to make that mistake twice.
Right, of course. So you got away from there, but like with like a bruised rib and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, she managed her mission, but she was clearly, it was not scot-free. She only barely managed her mission.
Wonderful. We might talk more about what that mission was in the future, but for now It's fine to just know this. Okay, so yeah, you dip down closer to sniff around. And I feel like what you're saying here is you want to get a look at what's going on.
Yes, I just want to figure out what the hell it is they're doing down there.
Okay. I don't think there is any like. No, that's fine. Like, we don't have to make a roll for you to sneak closer. I think that's well within your purview of what you can do reliably at night. So, yeah, let's have you dip down there. So where do we like see you as you like creep up upon this operation that's going down? I
think what she will do is she will use the swords to slide down a cable, and then. As she gets to the end of that cable, she will literally swing through the air until she catches another cable with the other sword, then literally swing all the way around until she lands on top of the cable, and then she's gonna, shuffle along that cable, or like a high wire act almost.
Yeah, just shimmy across.
Shimmying across that until she is sitting in darkness, about let's say 15 16 feet or so above where some of the Aegis vehicles.
Solid. All right. So why don't you roll to assess the situation as you've inched your way close enough to start picking up on what's going down.
Sure, because I'm so fucking good at that with my superior of -2.
You know it!
We believe.
Hey, I might.
Yeah, you might.
Nope. Oh well.
All right.
Potential for me.
So you're looking around and you notice, there's definitely something going on. There's no doubt in your mind, but people are being not being clear enough on what's going down for you to piece anything meaningful together. And I think you see two options unfold in front of you that could pique your curiosity. You see what's clearly one of the team leaders down here. He's talking to the team of investigators, who sending them out to look for something. I think he's talking to a group of divers, in fact.
Right.
And when he does that, he's reading from a paper folder, and when he's done, he closes it and puts it on the passenger seat of an open car.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people dipping around and moving about that general area. And another thing you see a couple of other clearly high up people wearing the whole suit and earpiece thing going, government agent jam.
Yes.
Having a hushed conversation as they're moving down the pier. And I think you figure that both of these present options for you to learn what's going on. The question is just what you prefer, to try and stalk down the pier or to try and make your way to the car.
Actually, I think I can do. I think I have a pretty good idea of exactly how I can approach the people on the pier.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my best option.
Let's hear it.
Because obviously, if they're moving down the pier, then if I literally get down on the side of the pier, and you know how there are those old tires and so on hanging down the side.
Yep.
So that a ship or a boat that comes up alongside it won't just crash into the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
She could use those for footholds and move along right down by the waterline, basically.
Oh, that's really good. All right, so why don't you unleash your powers for me to acrobat your way unseen along these people?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The obstacle you're overcoming here is the security in this place.
Of course. Okay, can I use team selfishly here?
Let's see. Maybe you can, but let's figure out how that would work. I need to brush up on my spending team selflessly.
Selfishly.
That's true. Yeah, because words,
Yeah.
Is there something in here? Team mechanics. You can spend team to act selfishly. When you act selfishly, say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates. Remove one team from the pool and shift one label up and one label down. Your choice. You can use this option after rolling whenever time. Okay, so do you have an option here for how to sell out your team by doing this? If not, then I will progress with the 6.
I think that I might be able to. Yeah, because we were the ones who were here. I just need to ensure that we're right about this. That I'm right about this. This is basically they are here investigating the things that we did. Right.
It seems very likely that that's what they're here.
It's the same. It's the same area anyway. So yeah.
The weird thing is that they're still here. Right. That's mainly the thing, is that this seems like something that would have been wrapped up rather quickly. And the only people you would expect to see down here are people dealing with the chemicals that got in the river. But this is a way dense Aegis presence, so a couple of days later.
Exactly. No, I need to get past a couple of these. I need to get past a couple of these guys, and to get to be able to hop along at the bottom of the pier like I described before. and she will quite literally she will take a look around and it's like, oh right, over there, and she's going to stand around the corner. Imagine there's like the corner of a building.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of guards on the other side of the building that she needs to get around to, and she's going to basically what she's going to do is she's going to whisper to these people, you need to check the security camera hidden on the second floor in that building.
Right. So you notice that there is a piece of tech that, like, there's a camera that would have caught you guys, like, in what you were doing.
Exactly. And the fact that I can get them to like, oh, what, shit, what, where? And hopefully head up there to check that security cam, she can get past them. But in doing so, in all likelihood, she's just made sure that they have video footage of us.
Right. Like, does this actually, like, occur to you that this, like, that might actually have caught us? Or is that a...
Yeah, no, she realizes that. But on the other hand, she's also of the opinion that nobody else was there to stop this monstrosity. We did it.
Okay.
We have nothing to be ashamed of.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it. So let's. I mean, I don't know if I'm doing it right because it's been a while since we've been using Team selfishly, but I don't care. Let's do it. So we see like these, like, there are two dudes, two men people standing around and like having a conversation, and a female agent is walking past, and you just like you speak and like mention the camera, and they both look up to like and notice the camera too, and they're like, "Good idea, agent." And she turns around and is like, "What?" Like, I didn't say anything, but they're already moving up there to like figure out what's going on.
Exactly. And then while they are all distracted looking towards that camera and moving towards that, I make my way down onto the pier and down to the waterline, so that I can listen in on what these high and mighty falutin agenty types are talking about.
Yes. So, tell me,
they're gonna recognize Moira immediately.
Yep, they totally are. So, on a 7 to 9, which is what you got it up to, you mark a condition, or I tell you how this effect is unstable or temporary. Which would you
I'm gonna take my guilty back.
Of course you are, because you totally realize what you did.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh god.
That was oh fuck.
Your curiosity got the better of you, and now
yes.
You know that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm into it. So the guards step out, and we see you like cut across and like and move between shadows, and we see like there's a wide panel. It's like kind of like a squashed panel, but it's very wide. It's like entire page wide. Of the like two people walking on the pier and like having this conversation, and down below the pier, like cast against the purple backdrop of the evening sky, there's this like intense black shadow that is you with like two white eyes like in the middle of it, so we can like see like it's the Batman effect, right? But you're like crawling along underneath, picking up on their conversation, and they're talking about continuing the search. At the bottom of the river. It could have just been lost during the fight, and one of like the conversation is two-way. So he's like, "Well, agent, we need to concern ourselves with what might be the case. It might be the case that the object was taken either by the people who intervened or by someone else in the confusion. But who would even know that this thing carried that sort of cargo? We jumped through hoops to make sure that it was just a chemical barge, just getting chemicals down the river. No one knows it was carrying the secret cargo. It doesn't matter who would know. Let the people at Intel figure that out. We just need to find it. Send the divers down again." And they continue to walk along. So you learn that this chemical waste barge was a smokescreen carrying something of government protection importance downriver.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, she waits
Government
until
hiding things all the time.
she waits until the two agenty serious agenty types have walked off to a safe distance.
Agent Jackson and Agent Jameson.
Yes, before basically doing her best ninja thing and sneaking out of there at a, as fast as possible, and making her way back to her, back to home base in a freaking hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And
you arrive at your apartment.
No, actually, almost. When I'm almost back, I change directions.
Where do you go instead?
I'm going to go and find Mr. Kane.
Oh, wonderful. So, like, you have your hand, like, hovering just... Is there, like, an indicator of where you're going? Or is there, like, a thought?
No, it's just... They just see the hand hovering over the doorknob, and then she pulls it back, and that's it.
Cool. All right. So, I want to see that, but momentarily, let's cut to what the others are doing.
Of course.
While June is out, running off the frustrations of the evening and finding weird stuff, what are the remnants of you doing? Is anyone like doing anything in particular?
That is a good question. Any suggestions?
Personally, I don't know. I could imagine Entry being poured over his father's like malformed tech. I could imagine Recon and Vanguard having a conversation somewhere. I could imagine Moira like looking over the things she got for her birthday, because we established that she usually doesn't have birthdays, so there might be like an emotional aftermath to having one. Options.
I imagine you're right in regards to Entry, since it was specifically brought up earlier about the man who turned people into animal hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
He would probably be doing research into what they found.
Cool. So what does that look like? Are you just standing by a weird sciencey looking thing, or do you have an idea for like how you would go about doing it?
I think he's currently standing by an unusually large microscope, examining the chemical formula of the compound.
Hopefully he's at his own house.
Yes, he's back at it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because I'm pretty sure Moira would take offense to him suddenly just putting up a lot of shit and then disassembling more of her shit to do it.
Yes, he'll have eventually gone, I hope you had fun. I gotta go now, but, you can call me with your mind, so I'm not worried. And then he'll have gone home. And yeah, standing by a large microscope, examining it with a computer monitor on behind him, running diagnostics and where he can take notes.
It's all the crime show special effects crammed into a single screen. Just complete cool.
Yes.
Like utter nonsense, but it looks awesome.
And then it changes. Because Moira goes and fucks up his system. And then it just says, "Thank you for the gift." And flicks back into what it was.
Aww.
I think he looks worried for a second and then smiles.
And then it turns back to what it was before. With a little added thing. What the fuck are you doing in this shit anyway?
I think he types on the computer, analyzing.
I don't understand the numbers. Math! I'm out.
I think he rubs his forehead. He's clearly not having the best of luck.
Yeah. So last time you researched this compound, you learned that it like creates human-animal hybrids, right? In a super-powered sense, and
yes.
in a way that is not entirely dissimilar to Moira. But
he wouldn't know that because he's never run tests on her.
Yeah, that might be that you totally speculate is not entirely dissimilar to Moira. If only you could make that test somehow.
Yes.
Hint. But for now, that's in the realm of speculation. But you also learned that like the effect is temporary. It puts great strain on the body, and yeah, it's being used with these like weird injectors that are prompted by a neuro array that matches your dad's tech that you don't have, but you know exists because you have the transceivers are basically identical.
Well, perhaps since I
It's
don't have the tech, it would be a good idea to reconstruct it then.
Yeah.
I imagine for him knowing that his dad's tech, it's like knowing that the handwriting is from his dad. He can recognize us anywhere.
Yeah. It's probably
Yes,
like that.
and it's a huge blow to him.
Aww.
I think you don't even have to construct it from the bottom up. I think you can like rummage through your your garage and like find an old like cardboard box where you could like take out like a reinforced plastic crate, and there's like the old prototype.
Yeah, and then work from there.
Yeah, just like look at it and be like, okay, so that's what this is. And you know, like, it doesn't take you a long time to figure out what the point is, right? This is the band in question is supposed to be a thing that helps neural signals travel differently.
Yes.
It is like a thing that would basically augment the brain to be able to more directly communicate with the body in the cases where that is somehow like gone askew, in cases of physical trauma. But when you compare that to what's been created, this new product is more invasive, right? It's someone else could directly interface with your neural ways rather than you being able to better manipulate what is already there.
Right. So there's a definite. I think, you know, something could be gleaned from reverse engineering it to see if there's like a personal touch to it.
Yeah, I think I feel like, and I don't remember if I've already mentioned this, but I feel like you know by looking at the way it's constructed that it's not a hack job at all. It's clearly like well constructed. Like it's been done in a like with the right tools at the right disposal, access to like a particular kind of like specialized microchips, and like highly restricted microcircuitry.
Oh, highly restricted. That's more easy to trace then.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it is if you know who to hack.
I'm probably aware of who to hack.
Yeah, who do you hack?
I wanna say first the regular. I imagine the law is who controls who can have these chips, and if that yields no results, then we'll have to move up to Aegis.
Why don't we have you unleash your nerd powers? Unleash the powers of geekhood upon us, and let's find out if you can trace this thing.
Any situational bonuses for using my own at-home supercomputer? As
Yes,
opposed to my in the field?
Yes, take +1 unless that would bring you above +4.
It would not.
Okay.
Nice.
Boom! Crushed. Okay, yeah. So you do the whole like you do the superhero with a supercomputer. You do the Batman or Robin or Nightwing thing where there's a bunch of like symbols moving on the screen and your fingers are typing things in the same sequence, but that's hacking. And you come away like knowing stuff. There's a caption box of you like recognizing things like, oh, this is the case. Like there's a soliloquy from you as you learn more. And
For some reason, I imagine the visuals zooming in on his eyes, where you can see the computer screen reflected in them.
Yes, I love that idea. I'm into it. That's a good visual. So you figure like by just like you piece together by surfing the interwebs in a particular way, by hacking the right people and asking the right questions and impersonating the right people. You learn that this microcircuitry is produced by like certain manufacturers and like and like it's only dealt to a specific group of like licensed individuals and like government entities, and that this particular like series number of chip originated from a shipment that is supposed to have been licensed for use by Grave Tech Industries.
I think he
So obviously
looks
the last
displeased.
So the last image like of you figuring this out has like a picture clearly like a picture taken of Graves, right, like standing in a suit and looking professional with like some lines of text that we can't see what says like next to it.
Damned saboteur. Right. Now we have a suspect. Let's see if we can't figure out a way to trace these. So they're remotely activated. I might be able to find the signal frequency and trace it back to triangulate a location.
Yeah, you realize, and you realized this last time as well, that the signal is relatively short range. So you have to like you wouldn't be able to just like track it back from here because it wouldn't reach. The transmitter isn't particularly unless the person is like in your house, you wouldn't be able to find them.
Right, but I could make a device that could warn me when that specific frequency is being used near me.
Oh, so very clever. Yes, you could. I don't even want you to roll for that. That's just the thing I will let you do.
Oh.
So you have something to do now. Wonderful.
Yes.
Does anyone? What about the rest of you? Are you spending your evening doing something specific, or will we go back to see what happens with trespass?
Yeah. I thought about it, but then I look at the time.
It's a bit late in the evening for you.
No, I mean, I think she means real lifetime.
Oh yeah. So it's currently 11.
Which is when you said we normally stop.
That's true. It is. And
Even though we've played to midnight a couple of times, so I was like, we stop at 11? Really? Since when?
it's
But
true.
on the other hand, we also have a player who needs to be somewhere else tomorrow.
Yes.
So
That's very fair. So I think what I will do then, that's a good point that you bring that up, because I was just looking at the time for this episode, right, and be like, oh, it's not been an hour yet, it's fine. But yeah, let's round off here. Let's make this a shorter one, and I will leave us with the cliffhanger of us seeing, like, as you pour over the computer, in like the blue light of the screen in the otherwise I imagine darkened garage. We have another panel of Moira, probably like lying in her bed and like looking at the wall scroll and like looking at the like smoke.
Curled up in bed under a huge ass duvet.
Yeah, like you're like maybe like smoking on your new like like cigarette pipe, and like looking at the wall scroll and like fidgeting with the ring. I like that. It's like that image of you post birthday party. An image
Totally.
an image of the lads of Vanguard and Recon, like walking home, having a conversation, and then like not a picture of Yoon, but clearly like a picture of Yoon's leg, like in the foreground of the shot, and just like in the side of the foreground, and in the taking up the rest of the picture. In the middle and background is like an innocuous looking, but also like creepy back alley warehouse. Some kind of like, oh dear, we're not in Kansas anymore, like bad side of town building. That is obviously like where like a front for where Mr. Kane could be found.
yes.
And I think on that note, we fold this issue shut, and let's round off this session. So let's ask our end of session questions, and then we'll figure out what the title and the front page cover is. So, Constrictor, would you please take your end of session move?
Sec. I'll have to find them again.
It's moves 2.
I move too.
There you go.
Right.
She grew closer to the team. I wonder why.
Yeah, right? Like, so, like a genuinely, like, really good, like, it was a really pleasant episode. Like, this was the kind of, this is like the, what's the, like, the 5th issue of Runaways? It's just like, aw, that's nice. Kind of issue.
What was that?
I think it's the 5th issue, but it's just like a, let's sit down and, like, have a conversation and be really excellent to each other thing that I felt like was going down today. I liked it. So who made you feel welcome if you had to pick one? I know, like, there was a good vibe from most of the group, but if you had to pick one.
If I have to pick one, it would be Yun.
Alright. So give Yun influence.
She has.
Alright.
I already can has.
Yun,
She got it freely under our conversation.
Indeed,
Yes.
she did. Yun, what would you like to change about her,
See,
like,
let's see. Probably not gonna like me for doing this, but I have to do what I think fits with what happened today. So I'm gonna move Freak down by 1 and Mundane up by 1.
Yeah, I'm not gonna thank you for that.
I know.
you belong, you're our friend. Well, fuck you.
I don't mind you put Mundane up, but the Freak thing is kind of everything with her powers.
Aha, there you go. The more welcome you feel, the more dramatic it'll be when you fail. So there you go. I love that. Thank you. You can take a you can clear a condition or mark potential. Which would you like?
Yeah, it's a potential or a condition.
Yes.
Also, I mean removing one, not getting one.
Yes.
What did that make you feel? Angry! Hog smash!
I grew closer to the team. It pissed me off.
It made me hopeless. It's hopeless.
So, would you like to clear a
let's
condition or
see.
mark potential?
Nah, I already removed 2 today. So I'm gonna take a potential and then I'm gonna come up with a pet for next time.
Nice. You're gonna take a pet.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Do you want
I'm gonna
to...
take a pet.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about, like, if you want the pet to be like a I have acquired this between issues thing, or if we're going to set it up so you come across a pet.
Oh, that could be cute too. We'll find out.
All right, yep, let's do that. So next up is entry. Would you like to take your end of session move, please?
Yes. I'm not sure. It's either grew closer to the team because, you know, in general, the birthday party was really nice, or grew into an image of himself. Because he didn't have... he was mostly the instigator of his interactions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll say he grew into an image of himself.
One of aw.
All right. How do you see yourself and why?
Basically, I will put down my danger and mundane up.
All right.
Oh.
He's not dangerous. He's just feeling like a normal kid who just so happened to invent a super thoughtful birthday present.
It was like well received. Your nerdery was doing a thing that was really meaningful to your old friend who you had grown away from.
Yes.
Generally, like, all of you are like, so we saw something of how you relate to each other today, and you're all like extremely lame and cute. Like,
Yeah.
just
Raycon and Vanguard in the background constantly bickering and fighting. That's enormously cute.
yes. So it was just all
And
around
Entry
good.
fucking up the entire kitchen because but it needed to get better.
Entirely, like, normatively speaking, entirely dysfunctional as teenagers, but doesn't matter because you're all adorable.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
The touch about Entry doing the I don't understand baking. It's based on intuition. What the fuck?
Trespass, would you please take your end of session move?
Yes, I will. She grew into, or not into an image of herself. No, she grew closer to the team this time.
Who made you feel welcome?
Well, there were a couple of situations, and I've been debating this with myself while the others have been doing this. Because I mean, the obvious answer is that she grew, that she got closer to Moira. But I actually think the one that was the defining, eye-opening, "Oh Jesus Christ" on a crutch moment for her was when they were playing Twister, and she suddenly realized that there's a really, really, really handsome boy about an inch from me. Oops. So
I super appreciate that.
I'm going to go with Vanguard being the one who made her feel very close to the team.
Like trained as a super villain teenager since early childhood. Now suddenly like boys. Oh dear.
Yes.
Like,
Oh dear.
like an actual like life where you can think about this sort of stuff and it's close. Oh no, it's different. I love that. Thank you for that. Give influence to Vanguard.
Which I have already.
How would you like to change? How did that I mean, it doesn't have to be that interaction, but it feels appropriate if it was. How would you like to change Trespass's labels?
If you want to change it at all, that's the thing.
Yeah, because I was going to shift mundane up, but you're mundane next. So we're just going to leave them how they are.
Okay.
All right. Take clear condition or mark potential Trespass.
Yeah, I'm going to leave guilty there for the time being and take potential.
All right. Well done. Vanguard.
Yee.
Your end of session move, please.
I think it's gonna be grow closer to.
Who made you feel welcome?
Obviously it was.
Sorry, obviously it was.
Recon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
All of our playful fighting and video game shenanigans.
Yeah, you're clearly like very comfortable in each other's presence, with the exception of Recon being a little bit jelly of Trespass.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't appreciate those insinuations.
Yeah, like what are you saying, bro?
There is no insinuation in this. It's a statement of clear facts. You don't need to insinuate it. It's right there to see.
There are no statements of clear fact in teenage life. That's why everything is confusing.
That in itself is a statement of clear fact. Yeah.
Damn you! Using my words against me. Lose 10 potential. All right. So Recon made you feel more welcome. Give influence to Recon.
Pretty sure he's already got it.
I was pretty sure of that too. So Recon, how do you change Vanguard?
Well, clearly I will take away one in superior, put one in scrub.
Open your scrub label, Vanguard.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Let's take away freak. No. Can it be lower? No, it can't be lower than -2, can it?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Not freaky at all.
Let's take away one danger and put one in mundane, because that was.
I like it.
I did it.
All right.
I did it.
Cool. Clear a condition or mark potential, your choice.
I think I'm going to clear my
What condition was that?
insecure.
Wonderful. All right, get rid of that. Nothing like a party to shake loose those feelings. Good times. And Recon, what's your end of session move?
Oh well, it's like I'm literally going to say the same as Vanguard did.
Yeah.
Same thing, same reasons.
Grow closer to the team by just broing around with your pal.
Yes, and I give and obviously I did I'm thanking myself for it. So I will move my labels. No.
So
Yes.
Vanguard, how would you like to shift around Recon's labels?
We'll take freak down. Dane.
Yeah. Are you here, Thalmid, by the way? It sounded like you cut out there.
Oh, did it? I said I lowered his freak and then raised his mundane.
Ah, cool. Thank you. So Recon, do you want to take potential or remove a condition?
I'll take up my potential.
All right. Cool story. So that's where we end that. Let's talk about the cover. Let's talk about the title. What's the cover of this episode? I say episode. What's the cover of this issue?
Oh,
I have a suggestion.
I have a suggestion too, but you go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say the same.
You go ahead.
I was thinking everyone standing around Moira, who's in human form and looking surprised, and everyone else is just, having, a cake and a party hat and gifts and all that.
Oh, that's a good tease for a cover.
That's what we call a fake out.
Yes.
It's called clickbait if it was on the internet.
Yes.
What was your suggestion, AJ?
That the entire cover, except for the corners, are this, like, it looks like mist, but it's actually the flower explosion.
Yeah, and what's in that flower explosion?
You can't see anything, but the only thing the title says is powders explode.
I would suggest a cover of all of them on the Twister board.
Oh, that would be great too.
And of course, with Moira will definitely be winning, because basically Moira can touch every single area at the same time and not break every bone in her body in the attempt. And then the facial expressions could be on each of them could be sort of, Yun being a little flustered because she's too close to Aaron being blissfully unaware of this while trying to fight off Recon's bum in his face, and Recon looking at Yun with a sort of a sneer or something similar, and that's just
Right.
You get the idea here, and then the title. And the title for it would just be in a jagged sort of script. Would be just be twisted.
What about don't get it twisted?
That too.
I dig that. I actually like all of these suggestions for covers. I mean, it's not like we have to vote for them, so I'm just gonna say I'm throwing in with the twister.
I mean,
I like that.
Clearly, they are different covers for different regions.
Yeah, alternate covers.
Yeah,
Alternate
thing.
couple.
Like Inside Out, where the thing she doesn't like in Japan is peas, and in America it's broccoli.
Yes.
Makes sense.
I just imagine that the entire cover is, we see all these people playing Twister, and then there's Moira's body weaving in and out of all of them.
Right, like
Yes.
you're the filler in the shot, right? Like every element of the like the cover that would be empty is just taken up by like a rolling massive body. That's you.
Yeah, and her hands are perfectly placed on a yellow and a blue one, with a big grin on her face, and her tail is, making a little bow, like, this is my left foot, this is my right foot.
Of course. I love that. Okay, so I'm into that. Let's call that.
So her body is actually only touching in 4 places.
So with that, we have our front cover, we have our title. We close the first issue. Not the first issue. We close this issue of Misfits. We put it on the shelf and say thank you so very much for playing with me, guys. Always rad. Really love the feel good vibes of the episode. Like it's just pleasant and nice and yeah, just all sorts of warm vibes. Like a lot of goodness in my head. So thanks for that. And
No problem.
to you, ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, thank you for tuning in to Misfits on CharismaToAC. Join us next time where we'll be playing more masks and having more fun. And in the meantime, you can check out the other shows on the channel. However, until then, bye!
Bye.
Bye.